how would you propose your continuous work after this event? Like, what would be your role on the roadmap for the next, let's say, 6 to 12 months after?
Yeah. So I've told the team, I said, I personally see my job as people that invest in us and buy the Sky token through whatever means. My goal is to make sure that it's worth their money, that it's not just a speculative hype kind of thing, but that in a year's time, 2 years' time, that the token is doing well, that it's integrated into our ecosystem.
Hi, in the next interview you will meet Ralph, the head of blockchain at SkillfulAI. Hi Ralph, how are you?
I'm good. Excited to be here.
How do you like the MBX? You just arrived like half an hour ago, right?
Yeah, so I came basically straight from the airport and just popped in. It took forever to find this place because like on Google Maps it's like not where the entrance is, and so I was like, is it in the building? Do you go up or down? So
yeah, we also been to the other side and the guy in Polish tried to talk to us saying that he has no idea where we want to go.
Yeah, same here. Like, and I speak no Polish, so I was like Kino, movie theater, I don't know, like what am I even looking for here? So this was interesting.
So when we came in, actually the first thing we saw on the VIP section was SkillfulAI on the right and on the left side of on the entrance. We were very surprised. However, we knew that they are gold sponsor, you are gold sponsor of the event. When did you come to the company, and what was your sort of contribution so far to the whole ecosystem?
All right, so this is a fun story. So some, I want to say most, but I'm not 100% sure, but a good bit of these SkillfulAI founders were students at GridNova blockchain course. I was the instructor for the actual blockchain development. So after the class, they asked me if I wanted to contribute as an advisor. And I said, sure, I'm happy to advise. This is cool stuff, let's do it. And this was, I mean, I met them at around summer last year, but by August they had asked me officially, hey, do you want to be an advisor? And I said, yes, that sounds great, love to do it. And then by January, February, it was like, hey, actually we want someone who like covers all the blockchain stuff, because all of us have some idea about it, but we like one person to be in charge of the overall blockchain. Architecture, transaction, security, legal environment, all that. And so they asked me if I would join as head of blockchain, and I was like, actually that works out pretty well in my current workload and what I'm doing. So so then I said, sure, I'll join, and here we are. And that was in February. So I joined as an advisor very early on, but then joined as head of blockchain a few months later.
What is really head of blockchain does to the company? I mean, not effectively, but what's your, let's say, your job during the day or week, or you know, how is your schedule and what are you dealing with at the company?
So most of what I'm dealing with at the moment has to do with the token launch and vesting schedules, contracts for that, pages to claim your tokens, to calculate it all, to figure out is it all going the way we want it to be, what blockchains are we using for what, because like everyone knows Ethereum is super awesome but also super expensive, so we don't really want to use that for daily transactions for like a reward system or so, because that's nonsensical to do. So my day-to-day at the moment is to organize and sort of structure everything that we have and put it together in a way that it makes sense. The Skillful token, the Sky token, how do we distribute it? Do we have like on another layer as well to facilitate easier trading, payments and all of that? So a lot of what I do is conceptual and planning, and then to prepare for what's to come with the software launches and all that.
What size of a team do you have to execute all these?
So on the blockchain side, we have about 3 people, I would say, that are edging into that. Most of them are not just blockchain, all right? So they are like developers, and they have blockchain as something they do as well. And I oversee all the blockchain elements of that. Yet at the same time, it's not that we have a dedicated blockchain engineer below me. So it's not that I run this department of blockchain engineers. We are not that big yet, frankly. It's like it's not necessary even, like someone would be bored doing that. But we do have a few devs that are definitely writing blockchain code that falls into that spectrum.
So let's say that all the token launches, you get through the first steps, the first issues, you solve them and all that. how would you propose your continuous work after this event? Like, what would be your role on the roadmap for the next, let's say, 6 to 12 months after?
Yeah. So I've told the team, I said, I personally see my job as people that invest in us and buy the Sky token through whatever means. My goal is to make sure that it's worth their money, that it's not just a speculative hype kind of thing, but that in a year's time, 2 years' time, that the token is doing well, that it's integrated into our ecosystem, that it's meaningful, that it's hard to compare, but look, for example, the Uniswap token. The Uniswap token is a very utility-based token that has actual investment value because it's tied so closely to Uniswap. And I'm not saying, oh, we want to do that, but I want to have a similar sort of a sense of value for investors in the token, so that it's not a, hey, let me buy cheap and sell as soon as it's high, but that there is a continual value in that token.
That's actually very good, because I wanted to ask you exactly the same question. I wanted to ask you why investors who are here for the hype, why would they hold on to their tokens? Why would they reinvest even, or how would they imagine staying part of the ecosystem? Because obviously a lot of projects will go down the drain basically after the bull market. And I see personally, as I was here already for the last bull market, that projects who actually could put their heads down and improve and develop during the bear market, they actually came up stronger on the other side. So I was just talking to Emmanuel, and he was talking about new spectrums, like integrating into gaming, giving personalization to certain like non-playable character NFTs and all that, which is far away from the original idea of just being building an assistant on LLM models and market them. So I think this is actually a question that has been answered. Lastly, I ask you the same questions like I do to everyone. What do you think will be the main trigger of ending this bull market? And I'm not asking you to predict when it's going to happen, but what do you think it can be a global event that can end this hype? And how we get over it, like technologically and development and all that?
Well, that's a loaded question. So I think, for one, we need to, when we look at the crypto market overall, retail hasn't come back yet. Currently, the current drive of all prices and courses is essentially only institutional through the Bitcoin ETF and all of that. And yes, there's some like little hypes, and Solana does things, and there's always something happening, but I don't think that the average investor, so to say, has come back yet. They're still sitting there like, they're struggling to pay bills in life. Like they're not sitting there with all this money that they want to invest. So I think we as a company, what we said and what we do is we build a product that is just a sustainable product to begin with. So bear market or not, that's not really too concerning for us, because we want to be sustainable beyond the market fluctuations. So I don't think the bull market really is there yet. I think it can come, and I think there are a number of factors that play into it. For one, inflation is a real bitch across the whole world. At the same time, that's exactly what crypto is trying to answer. So part of me is suspecting that people will turn to Bitcoin and through that to all the other coins as well, because they're like, this is decentral. This is not some like central bank issue where some old white man is deciding, okay, let's raise or lower interest rates and the economy goes down the toilet, but it's actually impossible to do that. And the more people that realize that, and especially younger people do, so time is basically in our favor, because I don't want to say I sit here like, oh, I expect the traditional financial system to just fail tomorrow. I don't think that will happen per se. But I think there is a lot of flaws in the traditional system that will surface more and more, such as governmental debt. How many debts there are in governments? Private debt, cost of living, interest rates, all of that. And these central currencies fix that essentially. So I think the bull market will start the more people realize it and jump on board, and the more use cases we have. Look at real world assets, gaming, AI, all these sectors are huge, and I think there are lots of use cases in all of them, which SkillfulAI tries to sort of branch into in various ways. And so I think with that building up, that would be great. Now when it ends is probably, I don't want to say World War III, but there could be some outside event of a nature like that. Call it a global financial crisis.
Or just money supply being thrown back
right.
out. Yeah. So that's great. And maybe just one more question about VCs at the company. I'm not sure how much are you invested in your thoughts about this part, but you said that you are also like responsible for the technical side of the tokenization. So when the token comes out, how much of the tokens are actually coming out for the retail? Because nowadays there is sort of like a concern with VCs that they get into the project early. When the token launch comes, there is not too much of a circulation, so the retail is buying high, and then they throw the tokens on the retail. So how much of these can we expect from SkillfulAI through your glass, or how much of an issue is that?
Let me put it this way. Our team, and that's me, that's everyone who works in the company, we will not get a single token ourselves until like the first year after the token launch. So we ourselves have a huge interest for the token to not just dump after launch. We don't want that. And with that being said, all our vesting structures, they're fair. Okay, so like there is a vesting structure where there is certain amounts being released either monthly or every 3 months. It's different really for every VC. It's not a one size
diversified.
Right. So will a VC who buys really cheap and then the token launches and maybe shoots up, will they sell all they can right in the first month? Maybe, probably. I mean, that's what they are doing. That's their business. And I'm not sitting here being angry at them. I'm just saying that's possible. But our vesting structure is attempting to limit that to a responsible amount. And we actually have a spreadsheet that has all the numbers that says this is the maximum buying power every month that exists. So it's being thought about. Now, if the token launches, goes up and dumps, don't be angry at me because I'm not in control of that. It's a decentral environment and all that. But from an organizational perspective and how we've structured our agreements, it's done in a very fair way that there isn't a way for someone to cheat the system or to somehow get ahead in an unfair way.
So there is no like a huge supply, I don't know, overload or something?
No. The supply is really tight, and the entire token supply is being allocated from the first day. So there isn't something being held back. There is, of course, a treasury. Yes. There are various funds for ecosystem or for liquidity pools and rewards and all that. So there is tokens that are available and that are being put to use.
But that's normal from an economy that has to keep up.
And those aren't high numbers. Like it's like, say like 7.5% for liquidity pools or so. You know, like it's a number that's not the entire supply or anything like it. It's really a controlled environment. And I think what's important too is we don't have anything set up that there is for someone to get tokens just for free, you know, like everyone who has a token has paid a price for it. So there is a certain threshold for people to sell. It's not that someone will just sell for the lowest price possible, because in all likelihood,
it's no free money in the system, basically.
Money, right. It's not a free token. We don't have this huge airdrop and we don't have anything set in place for that to happen. So there is... people are incentivized on the opposite, to rather hold on to it.
Yeah, I can tell you that because I was watching all the Zeely quests and everything. They are all built up to be consistent and to stay in the ecosystem and getting more interested in the whole thing, not just hanging around for free tokens. Okay. Thank you very much, Raf. Maybe just on the something I didn't ask for and you find it important.
Say it again.
Maybe just something that I didn't ask for, but you think it's important to tell the people.
Well, I think one thing that I noticed that is quite important is how we've limited anyone who's bought our token. We had a max supply on all levels. We didn't accept 500k checks from VCs. It was capped at 100 or 150k. And for the community rounds, it was capped at 1,000 or 2,000 in the second round. So like, it's a very widely spread token. There are no whales. That was one of our main objectives, to avoid whales at all costs. So I personally think that's a very healthy sign when you see like there are no big whales having 10% of the circulation or anything like that.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Raf. Thank you for your time.